y'all doing? This is Kev, and this is William BBH, and I think I had some difficulties, some technical difficulties, but thanks for being here. We're gonna get into this very shortly. Just give me time to get set up here. And who's ever's there, thank you for coming through tonight. It's midnight. Hope y'all had a Merry Christmas, which some of y'all believe or you don't believe. It's whatever on that. But anyway, glad you could be here if you can be here. Um, all right. Yeah, just very, very, very telling time here as far as I'm concerned. I don't want y'all to believe that this is going to be completely one sided, but, because of certain beliefs I have with this case and, just the use of common sense, probably going to have some opinions or otherwise. So, yeah. Here we go. What's going on, RPM? Long live my brother. Phil Brad, what it is. Barry Little, what's going on? Thanks for being here. Let's pull this up here. So, got the thumbnail on display, which makes three observations, two questions actually, and one observation. For one, you have, is he guilty? Um, is she a liar? And he's definitely hurt. Yeah. This is a. I'll tell you one thing though. With this, everybody versus Tory Lanez or Tory Lanez versus Megan Thee Stallion, you definitely have. You definitely have a hurt community. I would say that. Uh, Prepper 101, what's going on? Toya, what is up? Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't, you know, fancy myself a conspiracy theorist, but a lot of this stuff has to be on purpose, and we have to be careful on what our reactions are to such because it's most certainly perpetuating this little gender skirmish. And I I don't know. Just don't want to find myself contributing to the negative. I want to be a part of the solution. I want to be on the right side of history. But certain observations that got to be made here. I mean, it's inevitable, and if we are to survive as a people, we gotta understand what these observations are. And I'm not saying that all of you have to see things my way. I am a human being with an opinion, just like any of you are. But yeah, but here's my perspective. No pun intended on this whole fiasco known as a trial. It was alleged a couple years ago that Tory Lanez shot Megan Thee Stallion in the foot recklessly, handling of a firearm. Since then, many facts, many things about the situation has come out, but one thing that had been consistent from almost the start was that there's a huge possibility that the alleged victim, Megan Thee Stallion, was lying. Through obvious like switching of the story in the beginning. At first, he didn't shoot her, but then again, she did. I mean, he did, and alleges that she didn't want to say anything about her being shot by him at first because it was an effort to protect black men, which is a lie within itself. I don't believe that actually happens. I mean, only in situations when the guy is like the worst of characters. Well, it's a possibility that Tory Lanez could be in that worse. I just believe he's an entertainer that got caught up in some fucked up shit. But he had some. I don't believe he's completely innocent. It's just that there was not any substantial evidence in this case to convict the man. I mean, believe what you want. Do I believe black women? Yeah, I believe black women. But I don't believe this one. I don't believe very many. I don't, because the social media reaction, and what I will say is you have to be careful with these things. There are a lot of people that aren't careful out here. And a lot of people aren't really reacting in a way that makes us look good as a people. I would say that much. Sad situation all the way around. Barry Little says Tory is guilty of poor choices in female companionship. Megan is a liar. The criminal justice system is more criminal than just. Yeah, all of a sudden the criminal justice system works. That's a message that has to be consistent. If you don't believe it does, if you believe it doesn't work, we as a people have to be consistent about that. It just can't work sometimes. You can't cherry pick some cases and say, "Hey, it works," and then with other cases it doesn't. Shit. Let me tell you about this criminal justice system. Tory Lanez is getting a longer punishment for allegedly doing something without sufficient evidence, longer than Amber Geiger gets for going inside somebody's apartment, a black man who was eating ice cream, and blowing him away. I thought it was my apartment. I thought he was an intruder. No, she saw black. And hey, you know what? In this country, I believe that's what they did with Tory Lanez too. They saw a black man. This is why I tell black men to move very carefully. Don't be stupid. Don't get caught up in stupid situations. I tell the sisterhood that any day of the week, and they react just the same, emotional and insults. But I tell black men the exact same thing because I keep hearing this word out here, equality. But we know shit ain't equal out here, especially if you're a black man. It ain't equal. Like, how do you have a case so, I was like, straightforward to the point where you had most people believing that Tory Lanez was going to get off because of all the bullshit that was going on during the trial? Day one, I wouldn't get too out of sorts about it. I mean, it is, this is the world of the celebrities. There's so much bullshit that went on. Out from the Norm 18, what is up? Kelsey Nicole doing Tron from Chappelle Show, pleading the fifth. Then you have this guy out of nowhere, Sean Kelly. I think he was like the one of the final witnesses, saying that it alleges that he saw a male firing the gun all over the place, which the male was identified as Tory Lanez, which, by the way, was a retraction. Then Tory Lanez himself refusing to take the stand, which, I mean, doesn't help. But maybe he thought he had this case. Maybe he did. But I just say, hey, you know what? If my neck is on the line, the first motherfucking line of defense for me is me. Hybrid catastrophic impact, X83rd power. What's going on? Donnie, what is up? What's going on? Long live the habitual line stepper. They told them they was going to bring up his past albums, old charges, etc. Yeah, Donnie has a lot of insight on this. Yeah, case was bullshit though, and I'm on the other side of the issue. No, I don't believe her. I don't. I'm sorry if you guys have a dissenting opinion. If you believe her, hey, you know what? More power to you. But hey, this should send a really deep, dark message to black men. If you're sitting up here hoping for some type of resolution to all of this, it ain't coming anytime soon. It might come when your kids get old because in this day and age, I really hate to break it to you, but the belief is that you're just that fucking stupid. If we're too stupid to see that, yeah, even though these are very bad people and very dark forces at work, that yeah, the intent in the long run is to divide us. Then hey, we deserve to be split. But I tell you what, though, I don't trust anybody that tries to establish themselves as an enemy or some type of resistance to me or someone who tries to spread propaganda against me because that's exactly what this young lady does right here. Let me let me check out something real quick. See if I can pull up this poll. Because I mean, this really ain't a person that has a pretty tremendous character anyway. I mean, I am not perfect myself, but hey, I am a man with an opinion. There it is. There it is. Let me share the screen over here real quick. Thanks for coming by. And if you are, yo, Donnie.
Yo,
Oh, can't hear you. Donnie, what's going on? Shit, he working on that over there.
hold on. Can you hear me
While he's
now?
doing that, let me go ahead and put this poll. Put this
Let's
poll
see.
in my
Yeah.
community tab. Because they ain't want to say the stallion is a male horse. I think if you didn't know that before, looking at social media every time Megan Thee Stallion comes up, you know it now. Donnie, fix your audio, man.
Can you hear me now?
All right. So,
Hold on.
all right, I had it perfect
Can
position.
you hear
Why
me?
not move it?
Yo.
Okay. And I
Let's see.
posed a very interesting question here. Is Megan Thee Stallion a
Oh,
good role model for empowering young black girls? And then I asked another question. Black men with daughters, do you want your baby to grow up and be like Megan Thee Stallion? So, out of 106 votes, I'm sure that can be perceived as a small sample of people. Does not reflect the greater good, but it gives you some type of idea. And people would probably try to use the excuse there, it's black men being brutally honest. Of course, black men don't understand. You know how they do us. Show you a comment. So I got 106 votes. Yes, in the 1%, and no in the 99% out of 106 votes. I mean, one person voted yes. And let's just say that could be a troll. It could be. It could be a troll. Because with an overwhelming 99% of 106 votes, that's 105. That's 105. I mean, it would never be 100%. That could be 99.5%, 99.9%. But as long as that one vote is on that side, it'll never be 100 again. But this is a reflection. Like, why do this many people think that, there's an answer no to both of these questions? Now, pretty much believe it's for good reason. And black men with daughters, which pertains to myself. Do you want your baby to grow up and be like Megan Thee Stallion? No, 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 no. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I say it takes a special kind of person to make, you know, uh, become a role model, as they say, shaking butt cheeks. So check on. So there you go with that. Done it.
Yo, can you hear me now?
I can see it moving, but I can't hear it. That might be me.
Uh-oh.
Hold on one
Testing
second.
1, 2, 3. Where the white women at? Where the white women at? Can you hear me now? Where the white women at? Yo, yo. Huh. The white
Hey,
man
can
don't
y'all hear
want me to
Donnie?
talk.
Hey, press
That's
one
the
if you can
white
hear Donnie.
man.
I think I'm having sound issues.
That's the white man.
Uh,
All right, this is what I'm gonna do. If you can't hear me, then I will.
oh
Oh, y'all can
man,
hear me?
that's me then. I'm having audio issues. Go ahead and speak, Donnie. Hold on one
Oh,
second.
what's going on, people? All right, Gav, can you hear me? Yeah, I've been following this whole shooting thing since day one, so I'm up. I am abreast on the subject. No, I very much kept up with it because I never from day one believed that this chick was actually shot in the foot by Tory Lanez, and really and truly, from everything I heard, I still don't believe she was shot. Technically, I believe that a bullet fractured or fragmented into her foot. But that's another story altogether. A lot of sympathy was garnered with this, which catapulted her into mega stardom as a victim. And black men ain't shit, so she needs a Grammy. Let's see here. Wonder if it's working for Kev. Abreast of the situation.
Okay, testing.
Can you hear me now, Kev? Uh oh, Kev is fucking up. All right, Kev. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drop out. I'm gonna come back. I'm sure the chat will tell you. I'll be right back.
No, we can actually hear you. I just can't hear it on the computer end, which is so. No, we can actually hear you. I just can't hear it on. Okay, I'll have to apologize for all this. I'll do this as best as I can. Just hold on one second. Yo, yeah, when I get his audio straight, shoot, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm dropping the link tonight. Yeah, but we are here discussing this case. Shoot, Donnie, come back up if you can. Just, oh, there he is.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. We in the mix then. I reset my phone.
Word. Right. Yeah. So we're talking about this case and how Every time, okay, I want to bring up somehow, every time something happens like this, black men get dragged to filth.
It's great marketing.
Okay. Explain, Donnie.
Uh, well, we live in an era where the narrative of black men ain't shit is a huge one. We have a bunch of female superstars who are blowing up with the narrative of black men ain't shit, be a city girl, twerk, be a hoe, feminism. And to say that a black man did something to you because you wanted to go out and express your full wholeness, or you got sassy with him, or did anything of that nature, it's only going to catapult you into stardom. The only reason I feel like Megan Thee Stallion is a mega rapper and is all over media is because she's a victim.
Mm.
She's gotten out and said things that denigrate and basically fuck over black men, and for that, she's been catapulted into fame. You
Yeah,
just gotta love her. She has a tragic tale. She's been beaten and bruised by black men.
yeah, and she's been put up at the forefront as she's been labeled a good role model for young girls, self esteem.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, which is I don't get that because there's nothing. I don't know. I'm just looking as a father. I don't want to see my daughter around here twerking. Think that's supposed to elevate her or liberate her somehow. That's bullshit.
But it's not even the twerking aspect of it. She's a hoe. She's a ho. So the whole dynamic of even in like the case, people were mad about them talking about her sexual past, but it had everything to do with the case. Why does it matter she fucked the baby? Tory Lanez, random basketball players, the nigga on the corner, a dude who washed her car, and apparently now her bodyguard. All of that shit came out in the motherfucking trial, and people were mad of it. But all of it has to do with she's having sex with all these men and going behind her quote unquote best friend to backdoor her best friend. Like this is all destroying her character. But before all that shit was empowerment.
Yeah, yeah. She's been put at the forefront of protect black women, and after the verdict of this case is now more than ever, now to believe black women, and this is exactly the wrong person to do it. Now, now, Party, her boyfriend. Who is he to you? Because I don't know who this nigga is. All I
A
know is he's
nobody nigga who can't really get a real record deal because he's really trash.
yeah. Well, he has a message for all of us. That's on this side of we believe that Megan Thee Stallion is a liar. So, all right. So I picked this up shortly before the broadcast, and it says, let me get this out of the way. Uh, to any woman, especially ones of color, that has suffered an injustice, I feel for you. When you do find the courage to speak up, it seems you'll be ridiculed. Your credibility will questioned. Your entire past will be held under a magnifying glass. In an instant, you can go from victim to defendant in the eyes of the public. Oh, here goes the shit kicker. To
Oh,
anyone with a daughter, sister, mother, niece, or aunt, I pray for their protection. I pray for their covering. I wouldn't
fuck
wish
that
this
nigga.
on anyone.
Fuck that nigga.
Man, why do they always bring up mamas and daughters and shit when it's hoes? Why?
He's saying all that shit until he found out that bitch was fucking on somebody on him.
Yeah, it's always these dudes that they believe that they're the end all be all, and everybody's like, nope. Well, and someone said something very interesting, saying that it, when you're with somebody, you're competing with everyone they ever fucked, and that's a long list. Now, for people say they don't care, like I don't care about her sex life in the sense, yeah, out from the norm. I'm gonna drop the link for you. I don't care about her sex life in the sense that if you didn't know that she was fucking half of America, then I mean I don't know what to say for you.
All right.
Here you go. I mean, no, you heard my comment about her sex life.
Nah, what would you say?
No, I was just saying that if y'all didn't know if she was fucking half of America already, I mean, I wouldn't be completely shocked. I'll just say that.
That she's the type of female that didn't really get cute until after high school. So to compensate, she sucked a lot of dick.
Hmm.
And that's really what it was. She's a stallion. That's what them old players used to say. She built like a stallion. She tall, she thick. She got body on her. Nobody's denying that, right?
And
What
nobody.
what what is in dispute is uh her character. She a hoe. I mean, this is what it is. Wop wop wop, bitch.
I mean, well, what's going on, man? Is it look at our arms? Yeah, but I'm just like I'll say it again. I don't like it when people try to make little virtue signaling speeches like this, and then want to bring up mama and daughter. It's like just let's just tell the truth. That's my mother and daughter are nothing like this. Like keep that shit in your world. But I mean, if you want sloppy seconds and thirds, I mean that's fine with me. But the Kelsey Nicole thing, you were in tune on that day right there, that day in trial. What did it for you?
Pleading the fifth.
Pleading the fifth.
You don't plead the fifth unless you did some shit.
Hmm.
She wanted immunity, and then she got up there and chose to shut the fuck up.
Mm.
So I'm really curious if there is a dynamic of evidence unseen.
Mm. I would probably say there's a ton of evidence that wasn't admitted to court.
Well, it is strange. You didn't get to see, uh, I guess, the driver. He wasn't there, and he wasn't allowed to testify until. Actually, he wasn't allowed to testify at all. He nobody could find him, and then when he did pop up, they said they needed another week, and the lawyer was like, "Nah, we'll go ahead and push that out.
Hmm.
Fuck it, we'll go ahead and drop that off now." Um, and then that bodyguard couldn't be found, right?
Mm.
So it was a lot of janky shit. But I think the best friend Kelsey, her testimony was the most interesting because she was on a consistent. I don't know. I plead the fifth, which tells me, oh, bitch, you done did something.
Yeah, yeah. Question: Can B Dubs all over social media complain about not being protected?
Yes, while simultaneously telling us that they are independent, and don't need a man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, what's going on?
Hey, what's good?
Yeah, what's good? What do you think about this whole thing?
Of course, it's bullshit. Because there's one thing that I find funny they didn't bring up is the fact that Kelsey did a diss track against Megan, calling her
Now they
out.
brought that shit up in court.
They did.
Yeah, they said the lyrics and everything. That's how crazy this shit is.
I thought that was lyrics from Tory's case. When I went over, it was lyrics from a song that Tory dropped.
No, they went over the "Who Shot You" shit that she put out.
I didn't hear that part. What happened with that?
They brought up the lyrics, and then they basically tried to sidestep it and act like it wasn't really relevant. I thought it was hurtful, but yeah, they really pushed past it. The lyrics
Because
are,
they chose to go with what Tory said in his song, right?
I mean, they didn't really bring that up as much as you would think they would, but no.
No, but you don't remember because I went over it again. They brought up what he said. Like I said, I missed that one, but they brought
No,
up what he
they
said.
they brought up both of them, but like like they didn't spend a whole day on it, like you would think. Like,
Yeah, because
okay,
they
let's
only
like
they
break
only
this
went
down.
with certain lines. They only went with certain lines from
Right.
what he said that hurt his case. But that's what I'm saying. The fact that they didn't pay that no mind, and then they used Sean Kelly's testimony again. They brought the transcript from what he said, and then they also took into consideration what Kelsey said, even though she said she lied in most of that. And I'm like,
So
what?
my
That was
understanding,
okay?
my understanding of the case is they brought Kelsey up there because they thought Kelsey was going to be their home run hitter. And when
Mm-hmm.
she pled the fifth and said a whole bunch of I don't know, I don't recall, that's when they were able to go to the judge and say, hey, listen, this is some bullshit. She's not telling what we want to tell her. So now we're going to play dirty. Give us the deposition that we took when we first had her in the interview room. Let us play that. And the judge allowed it, which was really damaging. It was fucked up.
Now let me ask you something real quick, Donnie. How many times have we heard over all these many years that when the main witness or other witnesses don't want to testify, people are missing from testifying, that they usually throw that shit out of court?
Oh, when you don't have no witnesses? Yeah, you don't have no witnesses and no real evidence. Yeah, but the problem is this is a high profile case, so they're going to go through with this shit anyway.
Oh, especially if it's state, because I've been seeing criminal defense attorneys talking about it, and they're like, I'm surprised this shit even went on, because when you have people missing from the case, people that are unreliable, telling lies, getting called out as lying in public, they usually throw that shit out.
Had this been any other case when that girl said I lied, I told a lot of lies that night. I was straight fibbing like a motherfucker, and I need to plead the fifth. That case would have been it'd have been a slam dunk. The lawyer would have been in that motherfucker moonwalking. But because this is all over television, they really went to go railroad that nigga.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. They damn sure
Um,
did.
Well, they say he owns his masters, don't it?
So the deal with Tory Lanez is
Yeah, all his publishing.
he was a hot recording artist, and rather than stay on with the labels, the man decided to take his shit and jump and do his own thing, which is one of the smartest things that you can do as an entertainer out here, right? Own your masters. Prince been saying that shit for years. So that's what the whole part of the whole conspiracy theory was with his father screaming out was Roc Nation wanted to sign him and get him under that contract and do all this, do that. And he didn't want to go with Roc Nation because he really wanted to go out and do his own thing. And that's what that man did. So if you listen to his album, he's basically calling out the execs at Roc Nation. He's calling out Kelsey. He's calling out other artists in the industry, and he's calling out Megan.
Oh, and that what it said, Excalibur said it. He put out that NFT album. Yep. Because he was talking about that's how he made all that money. And I had seen it. Somebody put that out last night. He figured it out. He was like, I prayed about it. I didn't know what to do. Then I did the NFT and that shit doing his thing. So once he figured out how to do it and he didn't need them, they hated that shit. And the matter of fact, that's what Kelsey said that Megan introduced him at was a Roc Nation brunch.
Mm-hmm. Put that man on him.
Mm-hmm.
Kelsey little thick ass.
Oh, yeah, big booty ass. And I think she did that 3 times because the guys, and to me, that just shows proof. Real quick, to me, that just shows proof. If a dude is feeling the shit, he don't give a damn if you got status versus you being somebody he really feel that could be working at Burger King or McDonald's. And that's why Megan knew that shit, because her body was better than Megan's, and she would use Kelsey to get to those dudes that she really wanted, that wasn't studying her, but they was looking at her homegirl.
Yeah, she's the ugly duckling. You know, she's the girl that grew up and grew into some things. If Megan Thee Stallion was not a chick with a whole bunch of money, the bundles wasn't in her head, she'd be a thick booty chick who had the smile to put her head into a ponytail, who'd be knocking down a neighborhood dope dealer. That's just what it is.
Mm-hmm. Hey,
yes, sir.
Should we be ashamed of ourselves for not believing her?
Fuck no.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, D.L. Hughley would say different.
Hey, well, D.L. Hughley is a simp, but go ahead, Donnie.
D.L. Hughley's he I don't know where that nigga, he just did a whole 360. But anyway, no, that's not to say Tory Lanez is some innocent angel walking around. No, that motherfucker, he's been accused of a lot of shit. It's a rapper in L.A. that Tory Lanez he got real heavy in the game when he let it release a diss track, and he basically was calling at everybody, and he was answering everybody. He was putting out albums. He was just firing on people. And it's a dude out of LA named Dax. Dax got a diss track on him. Tory ran up on this nigga.
Yeah, Tory a pookie for real. He a pookie for real.
He ran up on the nigga. Now he didn't actually do it himself, but he had we'll call him his security. He had his security run up on dude, beat dude up, and the way the story is framed is they had him outside of the car. Tory rolled down the window, said some slick shit on some mobster stuff, and then just rolled the fuck off on the nigga. So I wouldn't put it past Tory to be on some gangster shit where he tell a bitch, I'll shoot you and I'll do this. I like none of that was surprising to me that he said some slick shit to the bitch. Do I think that he actually did it? No. All that Tory did it went out the window for me when he told her, yeah, bitch, I fucked you and I fucked your friend too. Yeah, bet she didn't tell you that. Oh, did she tell you she fucked the baby too? Yeah, she went behind you 3 other times. That started a whole fight in the car. It was a wrap. You can't tell me that bitch didn't shoot.
Yeah, you didn't. And then I don't know if you've seen this, but I saw DJ Academic's video not too long ago. They showed the actual firearm, and it was excuse my language, Kev. It was a bitch gun.
What was it? I didn't see that.
Did you say bitch gun?
It was a bitch gun.
Oh, like as in the word bitch.
It was like a 38. Was it like a 22?
No,
was it like a little small
like
9?
I got the yellow dollar sign now. Don't worry about it. But
it was the it was a CX2 something like that. It's like a baby 9, but it's like the size of a 380.
Yeah, a small handheld.
And it was
hiding the purse, basically.
Yeah, and it was lime green.
Yeah, I bet you that was her gun.
Lime green gun.
Matter of fact, Dunny, you don't remember that EJ testified that they had weapons. Usually, it might have been something like that.
Oh, the hairdresser.
Yeah, or like mace or something, just for them to protect themselves.
Yeah, so he came to court, and basically his testimony was him saying that when they don't have security with them, they carry stuff. So he has mace and pepper spray, and that they had a little like a duffel bag, and they asked what was in the duffel bag. He said that's not my business. But more or less he kind of alluded to like, yeah, no, she had some shit in there. I don't know what it was, but there was some shit in there.
Yep. He said he didn't pay no attention to it, which I think he capping on that. But he said he just threw the clothes in there, and then he took the duffel bags from his car to Tory's driver car because they were supposed to leave with EJ, but they decided, which was Megan, she was punking Kelsey because she paying Kelsey, and decided to go in his truck, leave, then come back because she forgot her slipper like she's Cinderella or some shit. And it's like, y'all didn't see that? You mean to tell me that she lied about this, lied about that, lied about this, and then withheld information with Gayle King talking about she didn't sleep with him. She didn't bring up the fact of what they was arguing because I always found that funny when the information came out. Like when I first heard about it and they said it was a fight and then, a shootout or some crazy. And then Tory gave a statement saying, oh, I was just trying to protect my girl. Then when the facts started coming out and then she said what she said, I was like, no, this is looking like she's lying. So ain't nobody taking Tory's side because they try to say it's misogynistic, but it's like females. If y'all want to be in the rap game, it's competition regardless if you're a male or female. Damn, Kel. But if y'all know that's what it is, if y'all beat a man, y'all victorious. Y'all what's your girl name from Marvel? Y'all Wonder Woman. But if you lose,
DC.
Huh?
That's DC, but go ahead.
Oh,
if you I mean, like, I don't give a fuck. One of them, shit.
But if you lose, now you go back to being Lois Lane and need Superman to come save you. It's like make up your mind. That's why I tell dudes, I do music and all of that stuff too. And I tell dudes like, be careful about how you move and what you deal with because you got some shady females out here. Point blank. Period.
Yeah. I mean. This shit been going on for years. I would probably say more than a decade at this point. Well, shit, since the 2000s, the 90s, these females been shady for a minute. Brothers should have been knew how to move, but see, they didn't have spaces like this to warn them about it. Not so much spaces, but YouTube channels with narratives such as this one. You have to move accordingly because people don't give a shit these days. Motherfuckers. Go ahead.
This has been happening for a while. And, the first real case of this, when we have it in hip hop, is with Tupac, right? So if you remember with Tupac was Dear Mama, Uh, Black Queen.
Keep your head up.
Yeah, he was putting all these jams out, and Tupac was real dedicated to the cause. And then he got to hanging around some questionable niggas, Haitian Jack and whatnot, and they brought that girl into his space. That girl, even now, took her ass on Vlad TV looking for a little 10 minutes and made her statement about what happened that night. The shit sounds janky. The story is unbelievable. But what did they do? They locked up Tupac. They called him a rapist. They put him in prison. They incarcerated his ass. Now, when he got out of prison, his entire mindset and attitude changed, didn't it?
Wonder why they call you bitch.
It's a famous interview.
My bad.
Why the fuck you bitch, you fat motherfucker?
Yeah, because look at the situation too, Donnie. Is like they said, because Pop talked about it, I remember the interviews back then, and he was like, they never got him for taking it, but they got him for sodomy, forcefully grabbing the buttocks. It's like, hold on, you gonna get somebody 1.5 to 4.5 years for grabbing a butt cheek? Come on.
That's what it was? Okay. Yeah, I mean, the whole situation is janky, but that's what they do. When they put black men up on trial, it's a wrap. Now, he's going to fight for appeal. I believe he will win an appeal, but the damage is already done.
Oh, yeah, he done.
You got to think. He was confident enough to bring his child into the courtroom.
Yeah. So, old Sunstar Peterson. Do you think
Daystar, right? Oh, the father.
the father is Sunstar? Which I don't know. They must have been on some.
Hebrew Israelites or Masons.
Yeah. Some like the guys that be in the that be on the motorcycles with the hats, every Thanksgiving parade. Maybe one of them. He sure has added to the conspiracy theory narratives happening. Roc Nation walked in, and that supposedly made all the difference.
I believe that. Especially with that Desi Perez or whatever her name, Desiree Perez, snitching on a cartel, and Jay-Z got her as a president over there at Roc Nation, and Dame Dash at one point was like, I can't mess with him because of that. You got a snitch that snitched on a cartel. And it's like, whoa, hold on. And then I looked it up, and it was true. Like Tekashi 6ix9ine was saying that same thing. You look it up, that's true information, but you got all these gangsters over there where Jay-Z is at, and it's like, Rick Ross is a former CEO. Then you got her snitching on a cartel. Then you got Meg Thee Stallion over there snitching in line. It's like, why would you be over there for as Griselda, which is West Side Gun, and I forget the other brother's name, but they over there. They supposed to be real street dudes. So it's like, are y'all real street dudes, or you just talking the street shit?
I think they're what they're called, studio gangsters. I think the ones that's being snuffed out quickly might be the real deal. There's stories out there, but what do I know? I mean, my ears aren't always to the street.
Anybody owning their own masters really got a target on their head, especially if they're a hood legend or they, like Young Dolph or some shit like that. They're going to get popped. And there's a whole lot of foolish and fuckery around it. But just in general, without even getting into the deep levels of conspiracy theory shit, Roc Nation is a label, right? Or as a group, right? Roc Nation is able to control the media, the output. They're able to go to the top producers. They are able to go to the industry execs, the radio personalities, the TV personalities, the social media personalities, and kind of lean in on them. Hey, listen, you want to be popular, right? You want to get interviews with all these people that we got on our roster, right? Just go ahead and put that out there that, Megan shot Tory. Hey, listen, if somebody comes up here with something that's anti-Megan, yeah, let's not even support that. So they did do a lot of damage to him in that level, in that aspect of the game. They really did fuck that man, because we live in a day and age where you, as a celebrity, are not capable of getting a fair trial, because there's so much media presence about everything going on. Prime example would be, what's his name? Sean Kelly. Sean Kelly tried to make it seem like he didn't know who these people are, but the shit he said was just insane. This man said that he believed that they were going to pick Megan up and throw her into the water. Why did that?
He never said that. He never said that in his initial testimony. He did say the same thing. He did, like they was beating on her, and then they picked up and threw in the car. But the throw in, oh, he thought they was gonna throw her in the river, and it's like, hold on, I mean the pool. It's like, what pool? You didn't say that in your initial testimony. What are you talking about?
Mm-hmm. He was pushed to say some shit that was real foul and condescending, and that shit fucked up the case. I mean, just describing, oh, they was whooping her ass, they was doing this, they on that. Well, did you see the gun? Well, no.
It looked like fireworks.
So, did you see that motherfucker? Well, I saw the muzzle flash, but did you see the gun in his hand? Well, no. Well, hold on.
But you saw the muzzle flash, exactly.
Yeah, you close enough to see all that shit, but you don't. Huh? How does that work? It just, to me, it just seemed like a whole lot of janky shit was going on in general, and a lot of motherfuckers had been gotten to.
And Donnie, real quick, doesn't that seem like that's what a judge should step in? Because you mean to tell me you conflicting your first initial? Because I remember last year when it came out, it was a regular testimony, but just like you said, he threw all that extras in there. It's like, hold on, that's what a judge should actually step in if they choose to, but you didn't choose to step in right there because he said some conflicting shit.
I fully believe that white man had no idea who any of these rappers were. And
no,
as
far as the testimony, for the initial statement.
Like the initial statement, he had no idea who these rappers were at all whatsoever. And then over the course of 2 years, he got to know who the fuck they were because it was in the media, and he's involved, and he knows he's got to go down and sit in this court case. You don't think people are sending him links? See, yeah, but you have the chance to say something. You got to say something. Mm-mm. They got to his ass one way or another, by hook or by crook.
Man, yeah, you got a good point because they didn't know who he was.
Your kids to go to college and be taken care of,
you, as a white man from the UK, you have a chance to stand up for black women.
Yeah.
Don't you want to be an ally?
You're in California.
Said, let's not forget he was about to sue Roc Nation before this happened.
I never heard that.
Roc Nation really had fucked with his career, and I think that had he won this case, it was going to be a whole lot of lawsuits going. If he had won his case, Roc Nation would have been up a creek. Megan would have been up a creek. Mm-hmm. Had he won this case, Megan probably would have been. She would have been like LMI. You ain't heard from that motherfucker in a while. Yeah, everybody remember that song? That shit's done. Yeah. You ain't never heard of LMA after that.
Probably 8757 says she definitely lied. LOL.
But I'm saying, oh my God.
I was done like right after the whole dance bitch thing. Then he said dance bitch.
He said dance bitch. And I can't
and even
dance like a
was like, where the fuck did that come from?
Where did that come from? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
As a juror, had I been there, we'd have been a stalemate because it wouldn't have been no, Just simply off the fact that she got caught lying too many goddamn times. I left because my wig was fucked up. No, everybody done told you was in there getting belligerent, and they said you got to get the fuck up out of here.
Yeah, because he was like, she make like say trying to put the moves on Kylie Jenner.
Oh yeah, you can see that on YouTube when he was hugging both of them, like he trying to get his pimping on. You know what I'm saying? He that dude. So I get it. You know what I'm saying? But you gonna sit here and lie and act like you was finna leave and then come back because you left your slipper like you Cinderella. Are you kidding me? You brought him back out the party.
She came back for that slipper and to give somebody a piece of her mind.
Oh yeah, she made him leave. She wasn't having that. Who is Kylie Jenner? Kylie Jenner was worth $900 million at this time. Yeah, that's who Kylie Jenner was. She's a Kardashian. What do you mean? Who is she to you? And then you say, matter of fact, Kelseys said this. Oh, they was arguing. She was like, "Your music ain't shit, man." For me, and I'm not no
Tory. Make him look like a sensitive ass nigga.
Yeah, I'm not no big Tory Lanez fan. I only heard 2 of his albums. He got like 5 or 6. But his music is better than hers, and he can sing his ass off. So I'm like, his music is better than yours, and he's independent making. And matter of fact, his album, so the first week sold 50,000, hers sold 20,000, 30,000. So even independent, he was selling more records than you. So really, you expect us to believe that? I think he laughed at her.
Probably did. I mean, he was like,
Yeah,
well, you know, I
the whole
fucking
dynamic with it is silly. That I guess at some point she said something slick to Kylie Jenner to the effect of, "I thought you were lame or you wasn't that cool in real life." She taking little jabs at the girl.
Oh yeah, bitch,
So
you got to go.
yeah, you taking little jabs, you saying little slick shit. It's heavily documented. You get drunk and you act a fool. This is what everybody around you was saying. You get drunk, you act a fool. So you can't tell me that you have now seen this man try to get a Kylie Jenner. You done left. Now you done came back for a quote unquote slipper that you didn't never come out with. Right.
Mm-hmm.
They done kicked you out of the party, out of the building. Now you in the back seat with the chick that you constantly backdooring. A fight break out. You get out the car. Some bullets go off. You done lied about it was glass. Now it's everything else, and now it's you shot me, Tory. Nah, I'm fully believing that Roc Nation got behind this and pushed it. Now we probably will never know, the
Remember that
exact
she said she.
situation that happened.
Remember she's Kelsey said they bumped each other on her way to go back
Yeah,
to get her bags out the back of the car. I'm like, hold on, you went to go get that little scrap, the lime green scrap, to bust her because they broke the fight up and you can't put your hands on her. So you went to do that, and they said she was kicking profusely, and that's when she got popped. That's what Sean Kelly said. But you mean to tell me now is, oh, Tory said dance, bitch. Really?
yeah,
Nah,
yeah.
stop lying.
Let me read this super
Oh,
chat
oh, my bad. Go ahead.
from the Roger Report Live. Appreciated my habitual line stepper brother. He says, it sounds like there was no evidence to actually present against him while having all the right enemies while being in the wrong climate. I really think he was really being convicted of fucking two women. You know
yeah,
what? That is a damn good point. He had
Being
both
misogynistic.
of them, and they were jealous.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Megan Thee Stallion was like, I'm the twerker. I mean, she was like, I can twerk too. Shit. But hey, who is this? Okay, because of the verdict of this case, who is this a victory for? Was there any victories to be had?
Well, ultimately, this is a win in the column for women and women's rights and women femininity and I'm sorry, not femininity, feminist Roc Nation and uh, a bunch of ain't shit bitches because they can live vicariously through this and say, it's not my fault. It's always a nigga out here willing to shoot a bitch. This will be brought up for years and years and decades. They will use this to shame men. You can't have an opinion on it unless it's the quote unquote right opinion, which
You're a
is the
misogynist.
Tory Lanez shot her.
You are a misogynist. You're a sexist. You don't believe women. Not really. I said at the beginning of this broadcast that I do believe black women, but I don't believe like when y'all lying. it is a clear cut case of lying.
The real story to take from this, or the message to take from this is when women start doing this fuckery, bullets, guns, knives, whatever the fuck they got, drive off and leave that ass.
Drive
Drive off
off.
and leave
You
that
got a
ass.
car. If you got feet, run the other way, run in the other direction as much as you can. Remove yourself from that situation because guess what? If you are anywhere in the vicinity and you know the first name of either one of them bitches, they pointing the finger at you.
hmm Let that bitch had she shot her and it had been on the news, he still would have been bad. He left those two black women. Why didn't he step in? He stepped in. He shot her. He did this to her. No, no, no. I'd rather be the nigga that left, and you can call me all kind of thises and that's, and I don't protect black women. That's fine. Let them two bitches go at it. Let them two bitches catch the felony and go on with your music career.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because think about it, Donnie. I seen I think it was on Comedy Hype. The chick Yamanika she's
Oh
a
God.
comedian.
Oh,
Yeah,
Lord.
yeah. So she said, even if it comes out that Tory didn't do nothing wrong, he should have jumped in between them and stopped it. Now,
They
I
give a
thought
fuck
y'all
about
was
that bullshit.
I thought y'all was independent, didn't need us. But the fact is, he's facing time now because he did jump in and try to do something. He did try to jump in and stop the fight
But
and stop her from getting popped.
According to Megan Thee Stallion, he shot at her feet and said, "Dance, bitch."
Dance, bitch.
From the car.
She said from over the window.
Yeah, from the car. This
bullshit.
nigga will bust out shots from the car and let her ass dance in the streets. It's the silliest shit ever, but it makes that man look like an extreme villain. And now you have a conversation of black men are actually out here doing this shit because we're abusive XYZ down the line. And the reality of it is black women don't need protection because they can go and tell a lie and get you locked up for a potential of what, 23 years? Was that what they talking? 22 years?
Yep.
Shit.
With
They
no
got
evidence.
The system. They got the system. Just like this man said, the system. Y'all evil. I mean, the only reason why I got this image because they've been using this in the meme and I couldn't find the actual meme, so I just did a little side by side.
Yeah, that's messed up.
Yeah.
That's really this man right here was, and see, this is the problem I have, Kev, when it comes to us as black men.
Oh yeah.
In this movie, I'm sure y'all know, New Jack City, this brother was trying to take out the Negro that was messing up the community and selling drugs.
Nino Brown.
Yeah, but then you put him next to Tory's father and say he's just as bad as him when he shot Nino Brown? Are you fucking kidding me? Like,
no, I think they was just doing a comparison of how he looks. But
no. I know that's exactly what it was. But what I'm saying is the fact that they did that, they're misconstruing what actually happened. Like Jamil Hill said, in her tweet, y'all owe Megan an apology because she told the truth and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, hold on, but you married to a black man and you taking the side of a lying ass 304? Are you kidding me?
Well, that's Jamel Hill MO anyway.
Yeah.
She's at the forefront of blame black men and straight black men are the white people of black people because she tweeted that out too. So quite frankly, fuck that motherfucker. But
listen, we could go into the future and we can see that there's an appeal one, and we can find out that it there's a video footage or some shit that has actually come out and it shows Kelsey shooting that man, and he will walk free. There will be no apology. There will be no I was wrong. There will be no dynamic of anything, but he's still guilty. The reason he is guilty is because he let these women did it, or he led them to that fight to where she did it. There's no win for black men.
Shout out Philip. What up, shipmate?
I'm gonna say Yamanika has a bad habit of calling brothers ugly. Obviously, she hasn't been looking at herself.
She can't. She don't fit in that mirror.
All right. Prime VA says, I'm glad women like Celebrity hold these women accountable and be going in on them. And we have a DBACEODNP said the real issue is our inability as a people to handle our personal, social, cultural issues and disputes between ourselves versus allowing the system, white men, white supremacy, to judge, jury, and prosecute our domestic ills. That's a problem that pretty much has us shackled. And with years and years of political changes and a forward thinking evolution with our people, because it seems like every time we take 2 steps forward, we take like 50 steps back. If we consistently have that, then we can work toward working out our own ills and not getting their system involved. But until then, we're pretty much on shit creek right now. Some of our boats are leaky. So anyway, but thanks for the comment. Very, very intelligent. So said he was safer with Kylie.
I've been saying that a lot.
The real issue. Okay, the real issue. I got you. That is an issue. I got you. So
I got a question for y'all on the panel real quick.
You.
Because I asked this for people that was arguing simps and feminist females.
Oh, Simps having a good time with this one.
Oh yeah, they think they finna get some juice box off this shit.
Man,
But
they ain't gonna get juice box unless they like is in the home already.
I got a
Or you
question for
Derrick Jackson.
I got a question for y'all brothers on the panel real quick though, in the chat. By their logic, because they kept saying it don't matter about the facts. What matters is the jury convicted him and said he was guilty. By that logic, for anybody who thought George Zimmerman was guilty, regardless of what the jury said, or the Central Park Five was guilty, regardless of what innocent, regardless of what the jury said, then if they happy that Meg got off, regardless of facts, does that mean we should be happy about George Zimmerman and what happened to the Central Park Five the first time?
What you have to understand that there is the absence of logic presence in this situation. So we have this thing that we do called cherry picking. It works when it works when we want it to work for us. Then it doesn't work conveniently when it doesn't go our way. If you are basing this on people who think with logic and it would think with emotion instead of logic, you're gonna get that outcome. Like these are the kinds of people that will use race as a virtue signal, but when it comes down to it, for real, the motherfuckers ain't there. They'll rather participate in the divisiveness
I mean,
of it all, especially if that divisiveness gives them a slight advantage. And I'm here to tell you guys, like it really hasn't changed much for black men as far as how we're viewed by the justice system as a whole. But I mean, you got B Dubs obviously entrenched in it because reasons. But go ahead.
uh, it really just further just goes to show you that black women are white supremacists in reality. And the further into it you go, you always come back to white supremacy, right? Black women are really siding with these motherfuckers in a real way. Black men have a long history of being falsely accused, put in front of the judge, a jury, and being told, "Fuck your facts." Fuck the little bit of evidence that we have showing that you didn't really do this. You look guilty, nigga. So therefore, we can go ahead and throw you under the jail, and that's happened on a consistent basis, right? And every time that happens, instead of saying, you know what, we know that the system has a prejudice and a bias towards convicting black men for crimes that they don't commit. But rather than believe that or understand that the system is geared towards fucking black men, we just can go ahead and say, well, you know what, he was convicted there. That's all there is to talk about it. Remember, when the Central Park Five, right? Or what do they call themselves now? The Freed Five, the Freedom Five,
Exonerated five.
the Exonerated Five. When the Exonerated Five got hit, it was a whole bunch of niggas running around here talking about, see, the motherfucking them little black boys, they was running around the park and they raped that poor white woman. They raped that poor white woman, and they would do it to your daughters and your nieces and your nephews. You better watch these niggas. Now here we are, a whole Netflix movie later.
Yeah, yeah, I remember that too, man. I mean, and I'm sorry to say, it was some of my family members too. Like
Mm.
that it was a couple of the females that was kind of on that little feminism trip, like that poor white woman, and I mean, like we ain't got perfect families. Like they're gonna have their opinions, but yeah, it is. They were on that shit, and then like years and years later, the same people are mad at Donald Trump for saying something about it, but they don't remember how they were.
Yeah, don't bring up old shit
Yeah.
like Friday.
It is sad. The shit is sad on so many levels, and this is what we have to expect as a community. Black women will simultaneously call us the ones who are close to white supremacists. Oh, we're the black men or the white women. All right, all that bullshit aside. When it comes down to it, are you going to be pro-black family or are you going to be anti-black family? And it's no, nope, I don't need you. I'm gonna be with this white woman over here. Feminism, we don't need you niggas. Get out the house, call the police, lock this nigga up. At this point, one of it's sad to say it, but black women are some of our greatest enemies. That's right. This shit is sad.
Done it, man, brother, brother. When I seen this case come out, and I know we didn't see plenty of this shit happen all the time, but when I seen this case come out with all the facts showing that Megan is not credible, Kelsey's not credible, her main person that said, I guess his name was the bodyguard Justin, didn't show up, but he said Tory told him that he popped Megan. I was like, I don't want no black woman close to me for a week or two. I'm not saying I'm not talking about my mama, my sisters, and all of that, or my aunties. I'm just my cousins. I'm just saying for right now, leave me the hell alone. I got to figure this shit out. Cause ain't no way you gonna sit there and tell me that this happened. We got facts, but y'all say y'all the ones that uphold us. But then it's synthetic G and all these other worshipers.
Well, yeah.
That
Let me real quick. DBA CEO DMP says, "Has anybody ever considered the incident specifically from the perspective that somebody did recklessly shot her?"
oh my god.
I really think that it was the friend that shot her. But
Yeah,
yeah, I want to put on my little tinfoil hat real quick, right? The bodyguard didn't show up, correct?
yeah,
The bodyguard was listed as missing. They tried to go to the police and list him as a missing person, and he was MIA, right?
yeah.
Uh, and then after this case was coming to a close, are y'all aware that the bodyguard's pictures ended up on social media with his dick out?
Oh no, I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah, yep. I was aware of that, and the family came out and said he wasn't missing.
Right. So here's my thing, and this is part of where I was going with earlier, right? Roc Nation. Y'all is on some mobster shit, and that's why I think the father was really spazzing out. Motherfuckers was missing from this, and the bodyguard was supposed to testify because he had some damning evidence, but he didn't show up, and because he didn't show up, all of a sudden magically his little his naked pictures end up online. That's some real funny shit, ain't it? It's
Mhm.
almost as if somebody was like, you know what, you need to testify and you need to say this. And if you don't say this, then all these pictures are gonna hit the internet.
Yeah, yeah. I think they got them all wrapped like that. But that's a little Hollywood, because conspiracy theory talk. But he also said, "What degree of justice do you feel she should get for lying?"
That's what I was when I seen that. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't think she should go to prison or anything like that.
I do.
If Tory goes to prison and it's discovered that she lied and the evidence overwhelmingly, if not enough already, proves his innocence, she should spend every day in prison that he should spend. She should match the days at
Mm-hmm.
least.
I, I
Won't
I
happen.
I agree with you, Kel, because you mean to tell me that he facing 22 years, we kind of find out she lied about it. And this is the thing. You know your friend is the one that popped you, in my opinion. But you mean to tell me that you framed it on him, but then the Sean Kelly witness came out and said it was your friend. So if you still chose to lie just because you didn't want to get outed as a 3 or 4, then you should get the same amount of time that he was facing if you found guilty. That's just my opinion.
Mm. That is if she lied.
If she lied,
Yeah.
well, we know she was lying about everything else, so I wouldn't
The
say she wasn't
reality
lying
is,
about this.
the reality is, they may hit her with a perjury charge, but she ain't gonna get nothing. I think
Well,
the
yeah.
only thing that would really happen.
The reality is most females who lie and get guys fucked up, they don't get punishments.
The
Uh-huh.
majority.
I mean, they can lie about being violated, lie on a murder case. No, none of them ever really get punished. That's the reality of it. I
Same
mean,
thing
she
that happened
may,
with Jameis Winston. Same
yeah,
thing.
yeah, she might get some sneers and jeers. I mean, I don't even know. Like in this day and age, the way they try to let women off the hook for doing egregious shit. Like I hear Amber Heard, they trying to keep her in Hollywood. They try to keep her acting. And I mean, she done went all the way. We're trying to ruin Johnny Depp's life.
She
So
low key went back and settled on that appeal. Now it's only $1 million she owe.
yeah, so I
Uh,
mean, as far as what they should get and what they really are gonna get, those are two different dimensions. Like
oh yeah. We
even
that,
if even if it's unfair for black men, even if we know black men get worse, that's the reality.
Kev, you right, because even with that being found out, like I said, with Jameis Winston, and I forget, it was a few other brothers from college. Women came out and was like, yeah, I lied. They didn't get no time whatsoever. So us as men in general, and black men especially, we have to learn that you have to have discernment. Like, if you see red flags, don't try to tell yourself, oh, well, I can still hit it. No, bro, if you see a red flag that this heifer might lie on you and mess your life up and she fight and all that, like, some people may disagree with me. When I see a chick with tattoos, I'm really zoned in, like, how you moving? Like, you look like a thought, tattoos, you aggressive. I'm not messing with you. I'm just saying, Kev, like, what I'm supposed to do? Like, just disregard how ratchet you are just to get the bust a nut?
I mean,
hell no. I'm too old for that now.
If it's got the package like tattoos and weave and booty shorts with stains in them, like, yeah, I get that. I mean,
I don't know about the stains, but everything you said before that, I agree with. It's just like I have to look at you differently. Like, if you're cool, maybe, and we having a cool conversation, maybe I can smash. But at the same time, nowadays, that's irrelevant. Like, you can't even keep in that category because they want to stay. What they say, new version and all of that. Now you a new version? Nah, I'm not playing with you.
now,
So
if you
take
got
that to
all these tattoos and you got these turbans and some moon rocks and some potions and shit, and you talking about Mercury retrograde and all that, I might need to back up from you a little bit. That's a motherfucker that'll put blood in the spaghetti. Like, no.
Oh yeah, we from the South. We know about that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I get that if y'all going at, but I also get the little ratchet tattoo thing, you know. But if it's like if it's down above her, if it's down above her ass crack and she can hide it easily with a shirt, I don't know. I'm trying to negotiate the shit. I shouldn't be, but whatever y'all preference is y'all preference. I don't like to really complain about black men preference because that's all people complain about. It gets old. They want us to risk it all for women who twerk and and is supposedly good role models for little girls and shit, which is bullshit.
Oh yeah. You asked that earlier. For me, I don't have a daughter, but for my nieces, little cousins, it's like I'm gonna push against that. I wouldn't get. And matter of fact, I wouldn't care if their mama got mad in my family. It's like, no, she's a 304. Like, why would you want your daughters to look up to her to where she ends up in a situation where allegedly, but come to find out, she's around here messing with her so-called BFF dudes that she's smashing? Like, why would I want that for? Like, real quick, I seen a video earlier today where my bad. Amber Rose was arguing with Murder Mook, the battle rapper from
The
Harlem.
fuck? Yeah, I see why she argued. Like,
but she called him out for a freestyle he had. He basically did Tupac's "Wonder Why They Call You Bitch" and was saying the same things. But she was like, she want to call him out for that and play the record. And he was like, no, I can say the record lines. And he was like saying stuff. He called out men first. Then he called out females for being 304s and saying this ain't gonna end good for you as a man or woman in these scenarios. And she like, oh, you a hater. You a hater. He was like, I got a daughter.
That's Miss Slut Walk right there.
Yeah. And he was like, I got a daughter. Why would I not care about telling women be careful about your choices? And I got a daughter. But y'all say y'all want protection.
Look, that shit don't work when I have a daughter only works when you're covering up for the ratchetness and horrible behavior of females. That's the only thing that works when I have a daughter. And I made that discovery in a Facebook group back in about 2015, 2016. They had the article posted, the Hoes Be Winning article with Black China and Amber Rose. And I made the mistake. It was one of these old black conscious history groups or whatever. I made the mistake of saying, well, I have a baby daughter right now. She's like one. She was one at the time. I was like, I don't want my daughter to end up like these two hoes right here, Amber Rose and Black China. I got jumped by like 8 black women. What the hell are you talking about? I don't care. My daughter can. I hope they got the money like them. Blah blah blah. Get that money. Like I was seeing all kinds of shit, and I was pretty appalled at what I was seeing. I was like, "Bitch, this is my daughter. I don't give a fuck about you." Or that's when Facebook lets you be a little ruthless though. It's like I was making them block me left and right for that shit. I was like, your daughter can be a hoe all day. Shit, my daughter, nope.
Better not have standards for your daughter. How dare you, Kev?
Man, how dare I? How dare I?
How dare you care about other black daughters?
Yeah. And by the same token, and I mean, like, look. Let me respond to hybrid real quick. Hybrid catastrophic impact X83rd power. I understand the tattoo things, but the weed, she can't smoke weed. Man, dude, it's like weed and video games is a state. Nah, let me stop, cause grown man. Oh god. Oh yeah, but yeah, this is yeah, man. If I don't know what role model should I pick for my daughter now. I'm sure that there are some athletic, smart, you know, conscious, good, wholesome black women for my daughter to look up to. But like the ones they choose in the media, hell no.
Well,
Like even like the Tracy Ellis Rosses, no, no,
Hell no.
no.
what's the one sister name? She a little older than the little ratchet that run track. Felix, Mary.
Lolo Jones. I know you ain't talking about her.
No. It's something Felix. And against she tried to show love for what's the other little chick name? I forget her name. Little ratchet from out there. I think she from Memphis or somewhere that was losing these races and talking trash about everybody. But
Gary.
Shakiri, exactly. So Felix, who been winning all these championships, tried to show her love, and then Shakira, she came out talking trash, but she was trying to show her love. But she's married, got a family, came back winning awards and stuff, 30 plus. Like you got some sisters out here, and I think what's tough for us is the fact that we gotta be ready to bump for what's right, and it's like that's not how it was. Like what I said with Amber Rose and Murder Moot. Oh, you a hater because you said that. And he was like, I'm just giving game to women so they know what can be the outcome if you choose this life. I didn't tell them not to do it. I just told them this could happen to your life. So women out here want other women to F up.
Well,
Like,
yeah, because
what
they
are
up
we
the
doing? Yeah, misery loves company.
yeah, and they to you have to understand to women like that, we're just walking dildos. That's it, walking dildos, and we're supposed to like, I guess because they so good and they can do all this and they can shake the butts a little bit. You're supposed to be the submissive one, but you're not allowed to have an opinion. So they're gonna come up with all kinds of defense mechanisms because these are not logically based beings. These are emotionally based beings. And for men, we can't get down in the trenches with them. We gotta leave them flat on their faces.
Until they need us to save them. Because Amber Rose said she don't want to deal with black men no more. But
Yeah,
she
so,
arguing with one.
Good.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, y'all fucking up her last name down there, y'all. It is Sha'Carri Richardson. That's what it is. It is Sha'Carri Richardson.
No, it's Shakiri.
Yeah, Sha'Carri Richardson.
It's just
It is like
spelled horrible.
accent. Yeah, it's SHA accent CARRI Richardson.
Yeah, so which means it should be Shakari, but she said
Yeah,
Shakiri. I've never seen that.
yeah
Even in the hood, we spell it better than that.
Yeah, yeah. It's like when people say orange instead of orange. It's kind of like that.
That's the South.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, we have a unique dialect down here.
Yeah, my mama still says orange.
Yeah. Yeah, man. But also, let me bring up something else about how much leverage these bitches got. Um, Megan Thee Stallion during all of this had a gag order put on Tory Lanez not to say anything.
Mm-hmm.
Then she went on a speaking tour of how she was victimized. Ended up on Gayle King, and that's when you heard the dance, bitch.
Full victim.
Yep, full victim of Kev. You just fucked her name up. No, I didn't. I said S. I said SHA accent mark CARRI. I said double R. That's what I said. But I should have said RRI.
Aura.
Aura. uh-huh. Here we go. Men of other races are more strict towards black women. Good luck, Amber. Yeah, yeah. They don't play that shit. I heard in that Swirl book they teach them how to have proper etiquette with white men because they won't put up with the treatment that black women give black men.
Man, listen, my mother-in-law is with a white man. It is the funniest shit ever. Because I be giving my wife the business. I was like, your mother is low key, but don't you say it? Oh, okay, all right. It is what it is. But she can't pull that shit she pull with anybody else because that white man be over there. Denise, oh, oh, oh.
Titty residue.
You make him sound like the lion in the Oz.
Yeah, she can't pull that shit. Well, black women, they don't be figuring that shit out until they already too deep, and then they be in there. So now you want to cooperate with this goofy white man, but when the black man was giving you the world, it was a problem for him to be like, "Hey, baby, can you just chill out?"
Hand and foot. Man, let me see. DBA CEO DNP. He's saying something I agree with. We as men must build a foundation and set the stage for whatever alternative reality we wish or desire to be realized. In other words, don't get caught up in dumbass situations, and the sky's the limit.
Only thing I would add to that, to DBA, what he said is, we also gotta be willing to lose some females. Like, everybody is not going. All these females these days, on average, is not gonna get aboard. You're gonna have to be willing to lose women that don't agree with you.
Because I know Tory Lanez at one point is like, I'm 5'2" and I got Megan Thee Stallion. You know.
Now he
At
about
one point.
5'7".
Knocking her, but he wasn't just knocking her down. You got to think he knocked down her best friend, and then knocked down Megan Thee Stallion,
And he
and
could have
had both
got
of them bitches there,
Kelsey.
Yeah, why
and
she at the studio
was
talking about the
fucking
pussy in the
with the
kitchen.
other one. Say
He could
what?
have got
I said,
Kylie too.
he was knocking down Kelsey while Megan Thee Stallion was at the studio talking about the pussy in the kitchen.
Yeah, bitch. Oh, okay. Now you sitting up with this cornball nigga who got a feminist tattoo.
Oh, and matter of fact, Donnie, did you hear this shit that I never heard this, and then I went back when I was researching. It was a bunch of dudes out there because allegedly she was messing with Wiz Khalifa as well. I seen how she was acting with Trey Songz in the club, all on them acting like she about to get him top in the club. And
whatever she got to do to advance herself.
But they were
So
saying,
her prior
hold on, real
producer
quick.
basically said she fucked everybody.
Carl Crawford.
And I remember, and he basically ran down. She was basically the biggest industry slut. She was fucking a whole bunch of dudes. And at one point, the bitch had she got into it with somebody, and they was like, I think it was Moneybag Yo or whatever it was, and he kicked her to the curb.
Moneybag Yo. And then Wiz Khalifa talking about her pussy stank.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say, Kel. They was talking about how her coochie smelled like chicken gizzards.
Yeah. Moneybag Yo said she was musky. He said she a stallion if she a Mustang.
Yeah.
The niggas was cold, but I remember that bitch had a video. She was laid up next to G-Eazy, and I was like, "Oh, the white boy finna smash."
And French Montana.
Yeah, so she didn't she didn't let a lot of rapper niggas hit. The problem is
Yeah.
nobody want to fuck with her, so she's stuck dealing with this cornball nigga
Or
who can't
party.
really do better. Yeah, he can't do better. You ain't gonna never see him with no top
Hell no.
tier
That's why,
bad
because he
bitch.
making statements like this to any woman,
Right.
especially
These
the
bitches
woman.
don't respect him. Look at Diddy. Diddy out here with a whole bag of bitches. Uh, yeah, Carisha, City Girls. Oh yeah, yeah. Diddy just had a whole nother baby.
Man, didn't Young Miami said she wasn't gonna break up with him because it's not too many billionaires out here.
She ain't going
She
nowhere.
ain't stupid. She know what time it is. He getting her what, $500,000 a month or $250 a month or some crazy number.
God damn.
She ain't stupid. She
Well,
like
she
shit.
retired.
For real, that's what she doing. That's why she put so much time into doing a little podcast on Revolt than doing her music. She making more money doing that podcast than her music. I guarantee it.
Yeah, bitch, I ain't finna believe her. You sitting up being a house cat to this nigga Diddy.
Siamese.
I mean, this dude, whoever his name is, Party, that motherfucker in love. I better stop talking about that woman.
Yeah, I don't give a
But
fuck what
we
he
say
got to
he
say.
didn't run up against the baby because the baby was talking trash and he didn't do nothing to the baby. He know what time it is. He said what he said on Twitter in New York. He know what
Yeah,
time it is. His woman is a thought. But and matter of fact, me and you, Kel, we from the South. He seeing her and being because she famous with all this weave down her back, which ain't her real hair. Her hair go down to her earlobes. But you mean to tell me we see this all the time? I guess in New York they don't see it like that.
No,
Cause
they see
nothing.
that shit all the time. The nigga's just a cornball, and that's just what the problem is. He's a cornball. He ain't got many options, so he got to deal with this bitch. He's a struggling wannabe rapper, so he got to sit and play the background. He's what's Nicki Minaj's little nigga? Sarah Free.
Oh, Safari. No.
Yeah, Safari.
Actually, her dude now, because they not together no more. She's married to
Keith
Petty.
Petty.
Yeah, which is we ain't gonna say his allegation, but we know what his allegation is.
And Nicki on the case because she finna get that apparently thrown out. I'm curious how they gonna run that.
Oh yeah, did you see that the chick that accused them when they was younger is now saying that it was a lie?
Yeah, after she did an interview calling out Nicki's people, saying that they tried to offer her $1 million, a couple $1 million, or some large amount of money to say it was fake and blah blah blah. And she wasn't gonna bend, break, or fold. And now all of a sudden, listen, I lied. I told a story.
Yeah, she didn't bend or break a fold. She just she's flexible.
Yeah, she flexible. She been doing yoga. Yeah, all these motherfuckers is real suspect in a real way. I'm tired of looking at this shit.
Because it's like if you've never been around money, like I told Kev last time, for me, I've been around like working in my community. I've been around a billionaire. So it's like, regardless of what you say to me, it's like, bruh, I'm for me, I'm not trying to make nobody believe me or not, but for me, the real truth is I've been around it. But I was doing stuff in my community. These type of people, whether male or female, right? They have never been around. So they don't have no real morals. And I'm thankful that it's in me. But a lot of these type of people, Meg and all this, that's not y'all. Like y'all are for sale. So I get it. I'm not gonna sit around here and expect every black person to be solid like that and thorough like that. I get it. But I'm from the hood too. So I understand why y'all would sell your souls for a couple of dollars and fame, which we do nowadays is sell our soul for fame more so than money, because I keep seeing interviews from rappers from the 90s and all that. I was born in 84. So I seen it since then. Y'all selling y'all soul for fame to be famous and y'all broke. They mad at DJ Academics, but bruh, y'all sold y'all soul for fame. Fuck the money. You wanted to be famous, and now you're famous and you're broke. So you got to do whatever you can to keep up the facade. I
Mm-hmm.
get it.
It's tragic.
Tragic. Mm. So it says, what is the general collective ideology or worldview of this particular group? Are you manosphere conscious community? Uh, I would say that I'm manosphere, but I'm fringe manosphere. I'm on the edge. I'm associated, but a lot of people would say that I don't have all the views that encapsulate what their view of the black manosphere is. But I would also like to think of myself as just a YouTube channel associated with the habitual line steppers. And that is myself, the Roger Report Live, YS4W, Donnie here on the panel, um, Darth Skater 7, and Sister Georgia of the Breakdown, a Woman's Perspective. We're just moving about, living life, talking about, issues that affect us, and is that's pretty much it. We're just adults, I would say.
He wants to know is why aren't you blaming black women for everything?
I because it's not possible. I blame people for what they are to blame for. I would say that. If you are to blame for plenty, then you are to blame for plenty. If you are to blame for very little, then you are very little to blame for. So that's just how I move. It has to be backed up by a fact. I don't try to use too much feeling, but I will say how I feel about certain topics. So, I mean, and hopefully I do have a chat that's smart enough not to, I would say, embarrass themselves like some of these other chats around here who I shall not name or anything. But rarely you're gonna come over to this channel. You're rarely gonna see a blow up or an argument or something like that. I just like to deal with more of the mature side of things. Um, as far as the relationship stuff goes, if it's a viral moment, I'll talk about it. But I'm not here to tell you how you can get more bitches and all that. That's not my area of expertise. And I understand like that. That's a when you speak of black manosphere. Um, a lot of people say, well, the reason why people sign up with that ideology is because they're not getting bitches. And I'm just like, is that the object of everybody that visit these spaces? Learn how to get more bitches. I mean, uh, I'm not in that area. I'm not in the area getting more bitches. I'm not. I'm just offering this perspective of your average, everyday, regular black man. And my deal is I have this strong, firm belief that black male media is important and paramount. So when I'm able to reach a much wider audience, and not to say I'll probably be as consistent as I have been in the past with whatever messages, that I've been saying before, because it's really no different. I'm just, I will be more so the guy who encourages black men to move a little smarter rather than to say, hey, you know what, just point the finger elsewhere. So I adapt. I'll say that. I'm probably one of the most adaptable content creators. So that's pretty much it.
But I agree with you because I had to realize that like I was kind of aligning with the black manosphere, but I was like, let me do my own thing. So that way, it's like, well, if y'all say something I don't agree with, everybody else can't adapt me to that. You know what I'm saying? Like I got my own mindset. But when it comes to being a black man, yeah, I agree with that. It's like my whole life, I'm 38 years old. So you mean to tell me I'm supposed to, no matter what anybody say, I don't have my own life? Like, no. But I support black media, especially for black men. And the sad thing is, what was it? Mark Lamont Hill. He supported where he was with the B in some shit and got kicked off. You don't see them no more. They got kicked off YouTube.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how did that happen? because y'all was full of shit. So why should I align myself with somebody that could get kicked off when I'm gonna keep doing what I need to do for us to keep speaking? I align with people like Kel because it's like, nah, we're gonna say what we say, and whether you like it or not, whether I like what he say or not, I'm gonna respect what he has to say and his opinion. But the sad thing is, they try to group you with everybody. So as long as we have more people like me, Kev, and other people, and my brother, let's talk with JVJ, it's like, nah, we agree, because he said the same thing I said. And it's like, no, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna align like we agree 100% because we can disagree with each other. But the main thing is, yo, do we respect what black men are trying to do, especially black men that love black women, the right ones? Then I'm not gonna just sit there and act like everybody's perfect. But they try to group you with certain things that you say, and it's like, nah, you're not gonna do that to us.
Let me tell you something. I don't give a fuck if somebody say I'm crying because I know it ain't fucking truth. I mean, people like to stick to this whole little status quo thing where, oh, okay, if I'm saying they crying, uh, you got to say they crying too, and I don't believe in that bullshit. I would try to more so give a person a motherfucking chance to plead their case, and if it involves women, so the fuck what? Most of the niggas out here that say that the manosphere is crying hang out in the damn spaces where the women are dogging the dudes.
Mm.
Like I could care less about that bullshit actually, but I do understand that when it comes to certain content creators, that question is reasonable. But as far as DBA CEO DMP says, are you truly concerned with the ills of black society or just seeking profit from the misfortunes of modern current black culture? If people want to donate to me, then that is their prerogative. I am not going to push back on that. And if I can make a profit off of, YouTube, hell fuck yeah. I suggest anybody get a damn steady stream of income that is lucrative for themselves. I mean, I would never rail against that. But am I truly concerned with the ills? As long as I'm a part of this society and I have a kid growing up in here, hell fuck yeah. Why shouldn't I be? And it ain't just when you talk about that, it ain't just about me. It's about the greater good. Although I know I'm not a person that can pretty much tell you that this here is right, this here is right, this here is not right. I just implore people to use a bit more common sense in their day to day lives. So we won't run into too much stupid shit that'll impact people that have absolutely nothing to do with whatever the fuck is going on. Like, if it's a negative. Now, if it's a positive, sure, I'll discuss that all day. If it's a solution, of course. But here's the thing: is like we know that there is a general problem with black men speaking out of turn. I'm not going to pretend that doesn't exist. There's a general problem with that, and my belief is that it's bullshit because it's like black men for a few reasons we're the only one that get that kind of treatment. We're the only ones that, oh, you shouldn't be doing podcasts, you should go seek therapy and blah blah blah. And I'm not against therapy, but that's some disingenuous bull crap. I don't want to hear that. You go must seek therapy, bitch. You must seek therapy. For those who say that. But anyway, just sit back, and I know I have to sell myself as such. I can't just sit here and say it because if I say one thing and do another, then what does that make me? Just sit back. I'm gonna be on YouTube for a while until one day YouTube says like, Kev, you can't come on our platform anymore. I mean, because it's truly up to them. If you want me to be brutally honest, yeah, it's up to them. But the burden of the solutions to come from black men, you have to listen for them and you have to be sincere uh, when you say stuff like I'm seeking a solution. When people say that, did they come here for solutions? What solution are they looking for? How do they know I'm the guy for the job? It's telling you what solution we should implement. I would say most people come to YouTube to be entertained. I would say most, maybe 95 to 98%. Because why are the fuckery channels doing so good? If people truly came through for solutions, why are the fuckery channels doing so fucking well? You tell me that. You go question them and ask them, are they sincere about, and I'm not offended by the question. I'm glad you asked me that. I'm glad you asked me that because yeah, I am genuinely and deeply concerned about it because I see too much stupid shit out here. It's like it's like if a white man or a white woman that's in charge of a media company puts something out here, we latch onto it like fish on a fucking hook, and it just bothers me. This kind of shit, like these kind of people that you see on the screen, Megan Thee Stallion and and whatever the fuck she's involved with, this shit's hot garbage. But you got people looking up to that shit. I mean, shit, I don't see her as this symbol of independence and, and and strength and all this other crap. No, I don't see her as that. But at the same time, what could
Real shit.
counteract this? Good parenting, setting the foundation for your children. Niggas don't want to hear that. They want to hear me say, fuck this bitch. Yeah, of course. But hey, I'm not going to sit here and say it for the whole broadcast. So what y'all got to say?
I mean, what's crazy on this situation is, like you just said, they want to hear you the shit on her, and I seen TMZ acting like this is a good thing. I seen, matter of fact, Adele from the UK, she got a residency up there in Las Vegas, talking about she's sending love and support and all that, and it's like, did you actually look at the court case and see all of these fallacies that was told? Would you do the same thing that she did? Most likely not. But since you got a black man that you piping, then maybe you cool with it. But at the same time, you mean to tell me that the USA Today did a story on it and say justice has been served? And I'm like, has it really? You mean to tell me with all the reporters you have working up there that y'all didn't see all the BS that's going on? And then you mean to tell me if a black man get convicted, that's fine because you don't mess with black men like that? So it's like we got all these situations going on, but black women keep saying black men need to protect them. How are we gonna do that if y'all throwing us in jail? How
You
we gonna
don't.
do that if you
You
setting
don't.
us up?
You don't. You don't. You don't. You protect the ones that is time tested and proven. Don't waste your time with these bitches.
And I agree with you. I agree with you.
Like,
But the sad thing is they pushing that narrative
yeah,
like, oh,
they
y'all
can
ain't doing
they can
what y'all
push the
supposed to do.
narrative to the cows come home.
But my thing is how do we get through the brothers that are being lied to, even if it's their mama?
Even if it's
That's
their
the
mama.
biggest issue. Even if it's their mama, how do we tell them protect yourself?
Some man, the sad, unfortunate part about it is some people just gonna have to learn the hard way.
Touch the stove and get burnt.
Yeah, pretty much. I can't just tell you it's hot. You gotta see it's hot for yourself. And
No, Kev, you tripping. What you talking about? Just because it's burning and it looks like the stove is at 100 degrees or high speed, I need to touch this.
mm, yeah, I mean, it's like a child. Sometimes child gotta. I'll protect my child as much as I can, but the second I'm not looking and they decide to touch that stove, then hey, the response from now on will be, I better not touch that fucking stove.
That's
I think
real shit.
I think that's the biggest issue too. Real quick, is what system do we build as the men that got good sense for our kids, especially sons, to come back and talk to us, and we get them that information? Because I think that's what the biggest issue is. Like, what do we tell them when they come back? Because we got heifers like this out here winning court cases to prove their point.
Well, we have to push the patriarchal mindset. I mean, we tried matriarchal and we see where that got us. Bunch of hoes. You know what I mean? No wrong with hoes. Hoes are good to play with. Well, they good to play with, but you don't let them become the key decision makers. You don't let people like Maxine Waters tell you that Megan Thee Stallion, is a good figurehead for women's empowerment. You like I said, you set the foundation for your children. You educate them yourselves, and like the system you don't let the system take over. You don't let the schools take over your kids' mindset because they try to teach them some fucked up shit. In other words, like oh yeah, getting back to the patriarchal mindset, we gotta let the patriarchal mindset take over. We got to. I mean, and the numbers will tell you that the patriarchal mindset is way better for the younger generation, the younger crowd, because we don't play that shit. And when we're driven, we have a clear path, and we make sure that that child is on that clear path. We tweak here and there, but yeah, we got to push the patriarchal mindset because you do that, the buck stops there. Ain't no negotiating, ain't no we're trying to get this in for your kid and blah blah blah. You sit up there and negotiate your own style of parenting out of it because that's what they do. That's what the mommies do. They'll accept they'll accept the scrap. They'll accept having someone that looks like them shaking their butt all over TV and being a good figurehead for the girls. We don't accept that shit. Mm.
I not to even just be off subject. Did you see Yamcha? By the way, that's
Yeah, I know who that is.
okay, yeah, but that motherfucker's in.
Said both was I mean, that's a good point. Oh shit. But yeah, Yamcha, thanks for dropping by. But I mean, Donnie, do you agree? Do you disagree? We have to push a more patriarchal mindset because the other way just ain't working.
Listen, you in my household, you following by my rules. I don't at this point. I hate to say it, but some of the old crotchety niggas, some of these motherfuckers is lost, and I don't got time to be out here chasing down people, being accused of shooting bitches in the feet. I can't save all you motherfuckers. I can only deal with what's in my household, and any man who's listening should only be concerned with his household and what's in his lineage. Uh, I got a daughter on the way. She finna get that work, not because I just want to be an asshole to her, but I want to make sure that she's in a proper position to succeed in her life. And if she wants to go out and get a business, that's fine. If she ultimately wants to have a partner in her life, marry, have some kids, and do that, there's certain ways to go about doing that. And the only way I know that she can succeed in that way is by not being out here having a hot girl summer.
Hmm. And they condemn us fathers for being that way toward our daughters. They say that we should stay out of their business, which fuck you. That shoot, this my kid. She falters, she fails. Guess who that's on? That
Uh-huh.
that's on me, but ultimately it's on her as well because it's going to make for a difficult life. And being the loving father that I am, I don't want that for her. So if I gotta say, fuck a million Megan Thee Stallions, fuck all them bitches, for my daughter, in order for my daughter to be successful and live well, then I will say that fuck all them bitches. The fuck folk, like what? Why? You're not basing anything like as far as respect for the black man based on the fact that they're black. Why should I have that same reverence for you, especially if you're not a good role model for my child?
Real spill.
So,
I mean, especially if you being to tell me that they talking about going out there doing bullshit and you're supposed to know when to throw your cape on. Real men didn't do that. Hey, if you want to leave from under my roof and my protection and my guidance, all right, cool. Do what you do. But you're out there on your own. You got to take care of yourself. That's what real black fathers did back then, and real black women understood that. So now we're supposed to be okay with it.
The one key thing is don't let women lead.
Yeah, the black man led that. So black women understood that because it's like, all right, do I want to be out there and be a 3 or 4 and see if I get lucky and win the lottery, or do I want to stand with something that's solid and right there? And that's what
they have to make that decision for themselves, man.
Oh no, I'm with that. I'm with that.
Yeah, they've told us time and time again they don't need us, they don't care, they don't give a fuck, and I'm like, fine, that's great, awesome, but you gonna have to reap the consequences of your actions.
Exactly.
Like I mean, don't blame me when you fuck up. Like
and definitely don't blame me like I'm that dude that fucked you over either.
And then that may sound like a bunch of logic, but they're gonna blame me anyway for when they fuck up because according to them, we didn't lead them. We didn't lead them in the right direction. So I mean, I'm just saying it's a stupid conundrum all the way around. I mean that and it's a loop that see that's the DBA CEO DMP's talking about. That's when people start profiting off of our degradation. Trying to keep people in the loop of stupidity and this so-called quote unquote gender war. That's when you start walking on that line right there. And a lot of people and a lot of content creators, no digs to you guys. A lot of you, that's what your content is based on. It's based on being able to profit from the divide between black men and black women. It's just that I want to represent the part that's on the right side of history. And it's just like, hopefully the paths and the decisions that I take will lead to that. Until then, hey, we're sitting right here.
But I agree with you on that because that's the same thing I do.
I consider DBA, I consider everything. I was once that guy. I was once a child. And I had horrible friends actually. But I had a strong enough mind to still be my own person. So,
but see, that's an excuse because when they try to make it seem like everything you're supposed to do for the community, even when it's effed up, where it's endangerment to your life, that's when, as a man, in my personal opinion, you got to stand up for what's right. And like, I'm not going to do that. Like, what about your parents? That's my opinion.
Yeah, and I wouldn't take no foolish chances. Like for real. Like, yeah, I would want to expose my child to a good peer group or whatever, but there's gonna be at one point where she gonna choose some friends that's gonna put that question mark up. And one thing that I know and understand is sometimes you can't force children into a position. You have to hopefully the seeds you planted early in their life, they sprout up and they sprout into good decision making and integrity. So that's what it is. It's a whole dynamic to being a parent. And one thing that the reason why I would do a broadcast like this is the fact that no, I'm speaking as a patriarchal black man who does pretty much command his home. I mean, I consider my wife a very great deal. And yeah, when that's the part about like getting married that a lot of people in this space preach against, that you're gonna have to compromise. But fuck that shit. We trying to raise a kid that's gonna go out into this world and just knock it out of the park. You know. So yeah, but I do have a very patriarchal mindset. I do know that there are certain things that ultimately will fall on me. And if we don't develop that mindset, it's going to be more Megan Thee Stallions and less Claire Huxtables. So, I mean,
I ain't gonna lie. I look at Claire.
We're already in a state where we're fucked up anyway. But go ahead, Op.
I ain't gonna lie to you, Kev. I don't want Claire Huxtables unless she's going against this feminist mindset. Because when I go back and look at the Cosby's show, I'm like, hold on. This dude made more money than you made. He's dedicated. And then you mean to tell me you still got an attitude? They had it where she ran the household. But when I look at Good Times, James ran the household. So I think
I
it's
wouldn't say
no, she
Claire was
was a
just
bitch. She was a bitch.
Claire wasn't a bitch, man.
Yes,
Come
she
on, man.
yes she was.
I'll take Claire over many of these archetypes out here,
I
man.
would take Esther Rose over Claire.
Us roll for real. You want to take us to roll over Claire? You want to get
Yes.
you want to give the money back?
No, because think
Yeah, you want to be dedicated to the white Jesus and telling you.
but I'm saying for us take that out as far as her being submissive, I would take Esther Rose over her because Claire had that attitude like, oh, you're not gonna tell me nothing and all that. Because I went back and watched the show and I was like, hold on, Bill was a bitch. Like, but James, oh, James was the masculinity. And he was in the projects and got more respect than Bill did. And Bill was a damn doctor. And that's why I look at it for me. It's like, okay, well, when it comes to masculinity and femininity, he got that. Bill didn't get that like that. He played his part. And I see men do that still to this day, Kev. And I'm like, no, that's not cool. You mean to tell me we gonna be in the projects fighting, and then when I come home, you gonna treat me like I'm the woman, and I wear the Sassoons? No, I bought you the Sassoons. You finna wear the Sassoons, and then we gonna figure this out, and I'm gonna be the leader because at the end of the day, while Claire was neck popping and neck slapping and all of that, if somebody ran in the household, I gotta protect you and the children. I'm making more money than you make.
Yeah, and also these females that treat like washing dishes as slavery or what, they really minimize the man's role in the house.
Oh yeah.
They really do, man, because men do so much. We work and then we have to come through and either we pay for things to be maintained or we keep them maintained ourselves. Killing bugs, moving furniture, doing little things to the car, changing tire. Some in people like my dad's case, changing oil. And doing all the plumbing and such. And I'm pretty much crafting myself. I fixed the water heater. I fixed the stove. you know, they really like the reason why these women complain about bullshit like this is because they don't have a man that has all those qualities.
Yeah.
That's what it is. They complain about they don't want to do this and they don't want to do that. Bitch, you ain't doing it anyway. You're not. You just want to be on social media and being messy and finding miserable motherfuckers just like you. But we've gotten too much away from the topic, and it's almost been 2 hours. So let's do a real quick review. Watch
All
how
right.
y'all move with these bitches. Tory Lanez got fucked up,
Yep.
and from the way it sounds, the whole situation all the way around, it sounds like it didn't even have to happen that way. Sometimes sometimes she fine and she got a big old butt and her friends got big old butts and everything and you're having fun, from day to day, night to night with that shit and you don't think about where you're gonna be in the next minute. Well, Tory Lanez is facing 20 some years. He's facing 22 years, I think. And hopefully he appeals it and gets off so I can come back and make a broadcast about it.
Me
Because I'm
too.
gonna tell y'all that bitch, I thought that bitch was lying then, and I know she lying right now. I don't care what any of these simps have to say. There was not enough evidence to convict that man. And a black man faced a severe injustice. You know, but how much of that shit was his fault?
Mm.
Yeah, that's the one thing you gotta think about. What could he have done to prevent all of that?
Keep a zipper closed.
Keep nah. Well, I mean, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
he knocked both of them off when Kelsey went home. He should have took his ass home and waited till she came back. This is my opinion.
Yeah, yeah. So, brothers, let Tory Lanez be a cautionary tale, whatever his future may bring. And yeah. Also, if I don't come to y'all tomorrow night, just be here for my year in review show next week, next Sunday. On New Year's Eve because I ain't trying to be out here in these streets, getting drunk and doing how I used to do when I was young. So this was a quiet evening with the family and coming on YouTube and shit, just doing the year in review. And, we're going to go over some things that happened this year because 2022 has indeed been a rough year for the black man. Yeah, it wasn't a good year. And, I'm not just talking about the death of Kevin Samuels, which I will be talking about next week. So, if I don't come to y'all tomorrow night with some type of show or Wednesday night or surprise you some other type of night, I will see you guys then. From the Norm 18, what are your final thoughts?
This was a good show, and hopefully y'all brothers listen. Do not just think with your little head, think with your main head that it's not all about just looks. You gotta pay attention to what turns you on and what makes sense to deal with. Them are two different things because you got, you such and such, red tube and all of that you can go home and handle your business. But be smart. I definitely care about my brothers. I've been working in my community for years. So, do your best, man. You can end up like Tory, God forbid, or you can end like his daddy, mad what happened to your child.
Yeah, yeah. And there's also a question: Did his father fail him? Did his father not show him enough? I mean, if his father wasn't a celebrity himself or exposed to that world, what could he have shown his son? But there's always a lesson the father can teach. And I really hate that this black father had to see his son go up the river. Or, if they appeal it, let's see how that turns out. But sad situation. Black men move smarter, move better, and learn from stuff like this. It ain't all about looks. It's about, I don't know, not getting caught up in fucked up situations, especially being a black man in America. Never, ever, ever, ever forget that. And with that being said, I will leave you right here. Long live the habitual line steppers and Kev we trust. When you don't quit, you win. Peace out. See if this ending a play this time.